Hey guys, I'm Katie and welcome back to my channel. Yes, I know I'm sat here in a denim jacket, however, I didn't want to be sat here in a boring black t-shirt, so I thought, I know, I'll sit here in a really nice denim jacket that is actually really nice and is one of my faves, so yeah. But before we get stuck into this book tag, I just wanted to say a really quick thank you and yay, I love you guys so much. I have had some really amazing and just really lovely feedback from my reading vlog that I posted last week. Well, technically it was this Monday, but whatever. And basically, yeah, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I was really unsure about doing it. The whole process was a nightmare trying to edit that thing together. Just everything that could have went wrong for me did, and I was at a point where I was like, it's not gonna happen, I'm just gonna like scrap it, this is the world telling me not to do it. Because of your wonderful love and that, I have decided that at the end of this video I will be adding in some bonus footage from my trip that I went to London on Thursday. I went to go see Mamma Mia for my friend's birthday. I gifted her with the tickets and she freaked out so much on her birthday, it was amazing. Last year I took her to Wicked and I didn't tell her where we were going, and literally like we turned up at the theatre. We'd spent the day in London, she knew we were going to London and staying over, and then yeah, we took her to the theatre and I was like, and she freaked out. But this year I decided to actually give her the tickets for her birthday. And yeah, so any of you who saw on my stories, you will have known and you will have seen that, you know, we had a nice little afternoon up there because I went straight from work. Yes, it was very tiring to do that, seeing as yes, I was at work yesterday and did get up at 4 in the morning. Stick around for some bonus footage. Let's get into these questions. I may have also forgot to say that this is the problem reader tag. I'm useless at this, I don't know why I bother. Question 1. You have 20,000 books on your TBR. How do you decide what to read next? This for me is kind of easy. I actually plan out what I'm going to read at the start of the year. I set myself a goal and I sort of have a look through series that I want to read. So I try and pick a mix from, you know, new current releases, books that have been sat on my shelf for the longest of times, and some rereads. So I like to have a really nice mix of books to read, and then throughout the year I'll also just pick up other stuff as well. Question 2. You are halfway through a book and you are not enjoying it. Do you quit or do you carry on? I keep going. I cannot do not finish a book. I can't do it. I realised that sentence was really strange. I can't DNF a book. There we go. I can't do it. I don't know how people do it. I need to know how it ends. And I think it's one of these things for me, I need to be able to say why I didn't like it. I can't just quit halfway through and just go, it's not for me. Especially people who go like, oh, I got like 10% towards the end, or I was like 50 pages away and just stop. Just read the last damn 50 pages. I just can't do it. I want to know why I don't like a book. I want to be able to confidently argue my point of why I don't like a book. And to be honest, I will even still finish a series. I did it with Twilight. I own them, so I read them. Because there is this thing that I want to know if they at all got any better, if was there some form of promise for it. I just feel like for me, I can't argue my reasons to why I don't like it unless I actually commit and do it. Question 3. The end of the year is coming and you are so close to finishing your reading challenge. How do you catch up? Basically, I read like hell. It's how this goes. I've only had this, I think, maybe twice before where I've been quite far from, not far from my goal, but maybe like 4 or 5 books. And basically, I've just really sort of committed and said to myself, you were going to read an hour when you get home as well. I've really kind of, you know, been like strict on it, I guess. Reading novellas does help. A lot of series nowadays come with novellas, you know, lots of prequels, lots of in-between books. So things like that do help towards your goal, because, you know, you can read them in a day a lot of the times, or literally in like, you know, half an hour, which is always really helpful. I don't specifically look for books that have like novellas and stuff because I don't like actively seek them, but if they're available for me to read, then yes, I will read them. Question 4. The covers of a series do not match. How do you cope? I don't. I really, really, really don't. I hate it with every fibre of my being. I have one book series that is exempt from this, and that is the House of Night series. I bought them when like the first 6 had been released in paperback. Or I think when I first started reading, like the 5th or 6th were coming out or something, and basically I caught up to the point that I was ready for the next ones to come out, and obviously hardback comes out first. It was either wait an additional year or get them, but luckily the series is 12 books long, so I have half in paperback, half in hardback, so it doesn't mess with me too much. The only little niggling thing is like the last 3 have coloured covers, whereas before they're all black, whereas like the last 3 is like orange and like this like teal colour. They're really pretty, but it is kind of like, It's like you're trying to make my life harder. Although I've now found out that like more books in this series have been like released, but I might just get those on Kindle. This is why a lot of the times, again with I like to read books all together. For that reason, covers change and I like to be able to just buy them all together. Question 5. Everyone and their mother loves a book that you don't. Who do you share with? I will be honest, I will say it on Bookstagram, I will say it on here, but mostly to actually talk to. I will probably talk to my mum. She might be like, oh, what are you reading? How are you enjoying it? And I'll be like, oh my god, this is awful. People I work with, they also read, so I could easily say to them, oh, like this is dragging, this is awful. And same with my friends. I talk to my friend Katie and Alice and Trish. Hi Trish. Because I know she watches, so I say hi. I will happily talk to them and just be like, I really don't like it. Everyone does. I haven't really come across that really. I've kind of said, oh, this book's been a bit slow or hasn't been as good as I like. But I will be honest, and to be honest, like the community on here and on Bookstagram is so like vast that I will probably find someone who will agree with me. But yeah, I won't lie. I'll just be like, yeah, I don't get it. You're reading a book and you're about to start crying in public. How do you deal? Well, I cry, to be honest. I'm very lucky now that I'm working back in town. I now don't have to worry about crying on my commute like I did when I read the final in The Rebel of Sands. That was awful, being sat on that train. But the thing is, like, I can't hold it in, so it's gonna have to come out. All I can say is thank God I didn't reread Harry Potter when I was commuting, because that is my colleague coming for a ladder. 2 seconds. Hey look, I'm jacketless. Yeah, I didn't wanna, like, I thought it'd be weird if people were like, why are you wearing a jacket inside? And I'm like, Crying in public, I literally had no idea what we were talking about. Yeah, I will do it. It's really hard, it's really horrible, but I will do it. All I can say is like, yeah, thank God I actually read books and not like do audio, because at least people know what I'm crying at and that I'm not just sat there crying. But it is kind of embarrassing. But you kind of just like, you're in your own little bubble half the time. But I remember when I reread Harry Potter and I was crying in the staff room, and it was the one time I shared my lunch with someone and I was actually just sat there with like the book directly in front of my face, just like shaking and like sniffing. Thank God he had headphones and he couldn't hear me. The sequel to a book is about to come out, but you can't remember what happened in the first. What do you do? Do you skip the sequel, or do you look online and find a synopsis? I won't skip a book. No way will I skip a book. I will either just start reading and hope it'll come back to me. But a lot of the times I might just like read the back of the first one, or I might just go on Goodreads and just like have a bit of a scan. Or now that I do like BookTube properly now and I'm like super committed, I will probably like look back at a video maybe and just kind of see my thoughts in it and just hope it'll like jog something loose in my head. Question 8. You don't like people borrowing your books. How do you politely say no when they ask? For me, this isn't an issue. I will lend my books to friends. Like, that is not an issue for me. I've even like offered my colleagues at work. I think like a lot of readers, you know, if I can see what their books look like, I'll be like, okay, you can be trusted. Also, a lot of people who've borrowed my books have been like, oh my god, it's in pristine condition. I was so careful with this. And I'm like, thank you. Oh yeah, I've never had to say no. I don't know, maybe if I had like a precious or signed copy, or I don't know, or something, I might be a bit like, oh, this is like my baby, so I can't, or I just won't tell them I own it. I don't know. But yeah, for me it's not an issue. I will let people borrow them, but like, yeah, not like strangers, like people who I've at least worked with for a while and I know for a while I can trust them. Question 9. How do you get out of a reading slump? I've only really been faced with one really big reading slump, and that was at the start of the year. And to be honest, like, this feels like years ago. Like, this year has been like really crazy and really strange for me. Obviously I lost my job at the start of the year and I was reading like really regularly, but you just kind of just get into a routine of just being at home, binge watching TV, and just, it's hard to kind of just bring yourself to read maybe. And also the book I was reading, like I really wasn't vibing. It was the one that I borrowed from my mum's friend, the Sherlock Holmes Arthur Conan Doyle biography, and it was interesting, but it just wasn't like what I was used to reading. So I kind of just said to myself, look, finish this and then you can read this. Like, come on, you really need to like get your arse in gear really. The only other times I've really faced a reading slump, it's just more, I think I've just been lazy. It hasn't been that I don't want to read, I've just kind of like just haven't. It's not that I've just like looked at it and just gone, I can't. I think I've just been more lazy. So I'm quite lucky that I don't really experience slumps. I guess like I have like a mental slump in the sense of a lot of booktubers out there, like they read prolifically, they get through so many books like a month, and for me that is just like, oh my god, like I can't compete with that. I work full time, I want to do other stuff that like I would love to just get home and sit like straight for 4 hours and read, but I'm very lucky that I don't like face slumps. like not yet anyway. Question 10. With so many new and anticipated amazing books coming out, how many of them do you actually buy? 0. Like, I'm not even kidding. For me, like, space is very, very precious and very limited. I can't just start buying books here, there and everywhere, not knowing how many books are going to be in a series. Like, I just don't have the space. And it's just really, it's really hard, which I absolutely hate. I'm hoping that I can get like some shelves on this space. I have like a plan in the works for this, and I can get more books. It's just, it sucks. Like, the only times really I do will be like if I pop into Waterstones and I see, you know, they've got they always have like a buy one get one half pricing on, so I kind of peruse and I see if I can find anything in the new releases. But if I can't, I won't bother buying a book. I know that sounds like really weird and stupid, but I just like won't bother. If I can get 2, then I will. But that's kind of it for me, which does really suck. Like, I wish I could just buy more, but I just won't. And finally, question 11. After you've bought your new highly anticipated reads, how long do they actually sit on your shelf with? Forever. Like, I won't lie. I wish I could just read them straight away. But again, I think this comes back to that I want to read a series as a whole, which I am kind of pulling myself out of. So far this year, I have read The Beast Player and I have read The Smoke Thieves. Those 2 books I did buy this year. So that's good progression for me. Normally, I mean, like, Throne of Glass has been sat on my shelf since it got released. And again, that's because I want to read them together, not separately as and when they come out. But I'm changing that. I'm making like a big great effort to change those things. It's just hard, you know, it's breaking routine, but yeah, they will sit on my shelf forever. Mostly, like, it's not so bad if there's a trilogy and I'm like, oh yeah, I can read that in 2 or 3 years. But there's so many other books I gotta get to first. I'm just like, help. Thank you so much for joining me. Please feel free to comment below with some of the answers to these questions, especially ones that you find the hardest, and let me know. Please enjoy the bonus footage that you're about to watch of my little jaunt up to London. Mamma Mia was amazing. It was so much fun. And then at the end, they kind of did like an encore thing where they were like singing, and everyone in the audience was up and dancing and singing. It was great because we were like on the front row of a balcony, so we were just like, so once we got up, kind of a lot of people behind us kind of had no choice. But it was absolutely amazing, and I so enjoyed it. It's one of those things, like, years ago I was never fussed about, but like now I was like, actually, like, I really do love ABBA. Why would I not go and see this? Yeah, I hope you enjoy that. Obviously there is no footage of ABBA, like, well, not ABBA, but ABBA. But yeah, because obviously, you know, I don't want to get kicked out. So yeah, just enjoy it for what it is. My happy little trip up there, and I made the effort. And I kept saying to my friend, like, if I'm pissing you off, like, stop me, tell me to stop like filming and stuff. She was like, I don't care. And I was like, I love you. Have a great week coming. I was gonna say great weekend, and I was like, you upload on Sundays now, you fool, so you can't say that. So have a good week coming, and I hope you had a great weekend. If you like this video, then show some loves and give me some thumbs up. I don't even know why I'm saying like weird sentences like some thumbs up. Like, why? It's because I just need to stop talking, like eat some food and watch some TV. That's like clearly what's happening to my brain. And yeah, if you are new and you like this, then subscribe, and then you can get lots more content like this. I know. The excitement. See, I can't even.